Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, please welcome back your first Stronghold Herald, Natalie Janson.
Natalie, here, you can use this.
It's not my fault. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to our second day of our 2016 First Stronghold competition here at the Clackamas Academy of Industrial Sciences. We played a lot of really great qualification matches yesterday, and I'm sure all of your kingdoms would be very, very proud of the hard work that you have all put in. I also want to thank all of the teams for your continued gracious professionalism, your continued creativity, and all the hard work you have put into this season. It is not going unnoticed. Today, we need to keep up our hashtagging with our hashtag CAIS is best so that every other first event knows that we have the most fun and have the best teams here. So before we start our qualification matches today, I would like to introduce a couple of people. Our first speaker is Dave Hunt, and he is currently the president and CEO of the Pacific Northwest Defense Coalition, and he's a Clackamas Community College board member, and he is the president of the Oregon City Rotary Club. Dave has previously served Oregon as a state representative for 10 years. During that time, he also served as a Speaker of the House of Representatives. And Dave's son has participated in FIRST himself. So please give him a warm welcome.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody, and congratulations on all the work you've already put in and are going to put in today and beyond. I wanted to share two thoughts based on my personal perspective and experience about why the stuff you're doing is so critically important. First, as was mentioned, I serve as the CEO of an association of manufacturers all over the Northwest. We have 225 member businesses, and I can tell you the skills that you are learning and have learned and will continue to learn are so important and so relevant to businesses today. I was just in two of our member businesses this week, and if you walk through and look at the work people are doing, from engineering and design up to operating the machines, right up to the CEO's office, every single one of them have the kind of skills and need the kind of skills that you're developing to be successful in their jobs. And they are looking for new employees. They cannot fill the jobs they've got with qualified people. So you've got to continue to grow and develop those skills, and you are going to be set for the workplace. It brings me to the second reason, which is my own son's experience. When he was a freshman at Gladstone High School, Team 3131, are you in the house? All right. That was the first year of FIRST Robotics at Gladstone High School. And he did it all 4 years and just had a fabulous experience doing different aspects of the team, developing different skills. And let me tell you the rest of the story, because that was 7 years ago. He was a freshman at Gladstone. He's now a junior at Princeton University, majoring in engineering and computer sciences. Robotics was critical in helping him get scholarships for college. It was critical in helping him get into Princeton. It was helpful in him deciding to major in engineering and computer science. And it's been helpful in him getting summer internships. He did an internship while still in high school at Xerox in Wilsonville, and did another one at Autodesk in Lake Oswego. He then has done great internships since, and this summer he's going to be working at Airbnb in San Francisco at their headquarters. The experience he had in FIRST Robotics was just critical in terms of giving him the confidence and the skills and the desire to work in these kind of fields. So stick with it. don't stay in a box. You know, if you happen to be a driver, work over on marketing and fundraising. If you're working on marketing and fundraising, get over behind the wall and drive. Stretch your skills, help your teammates stretch their skills. The skills you're developing individually and as a team are going to be life-changing skills for you. I see it in my job, I see it in my family. So stick with it, keep up the great work, have a fabulous tournament today.
Our next speaker is Dwayne Melancon. He is the Chief Technology Officer and Vice President of Research and Development at Tripwire. And he is also an Executive Advisory Board member for First Oregon. So please welcome him.
Thank you. Good morning. Who likes robots? All right, those of you who were here last year might remember I talked a lot about checklists, and I talked about art and design and how they intersect with engineering and all that. Today, I want to talk a little bit about some things that not only we do at our company, Tripwire, but that you're learning here that you could use to get jobs at companies like mine. So when last year, I was solely focused on cybersecurity, protecting people, protecting networks, keeping credit card information, personal information, that kind of things from being tampered with and stolen. Last year, our company was acquired by a company named Belden out of St. Louis, and they focus a lot on industrial IT, which includes robots, factory floor automation, and a lot of things like that. So it's kind of cool that I've been involved in the robotics for a long time, and now I'm working for a company owned by a company that cares about robotics. But what I want to talk a little bit about today is some of the things that you learn here that will help you get meaningful, cool jobs at companies that are willing to pay for what your skills are. I've worked with, we have a couple of interns a year from First. We're working on increasing the numbers. But when we sit down and talk with some of the people and ask, when you apply for a job, how are you going to talk about this? A lot of times they talk a lot about the robots and a lot about the competition. But there are things you can talk about that you learn here that will help you at any job, whether it's an engineering job or anything else. And so some of the things to emphasize that you learn here are around, who here has learned more about planning during this process? Have you learned about teamwork and working on projects together? One of the things, I work for a software company, and I always say team equals software. If you want to have a great software, you have to have a great team, and I think that's true of any one of your products. So whatever you're building, if you can work better in a team, that's important, and it'll improve the quality of the product. How many people are better at dealing with surprises out of this process? Yeah. Anybody getting familiar with how to fail and not let it stop you? What about making sure you understand the requirements before you start doing things and figuring out how to solve problems? Any of that? The other thing is, how many people are learning about the importance and the kind of the crazy stuff around deadlines? All right, those are all the kinds of things that my team, that we look for, people who understand what it's like to work on a schedule. We use an agile methodology where we do short sprints, we iterate, we learn, and we improve. Anybody does that sound like some of the things you're doing now? I heard that there were robots that couldn't climb and couldn't shoot earlier that can now climb and shoot. That's, to me, is continuous improvement and iterative design. So those kinds of things are the things that you can emphasize when you go out and interview for a job. Talk about the skills, don't just talk about the robots, because those things, you've got a great opportunity here to learn those. And going into the job market with those kinds of skills will serve you very well. And those are the kinds of things that my management team looks for when we hire. And we've currently got about 200 software development and QA people around the world. We plan on growing. Who knows, maybe one day you guys will be on our team. The other thing I would like you to think about is the coaches and the mentors that get involved in this. They're doing a lot. I hope you're thanking them. They're doing a lot to invest in you. And the other thing to take away from that is every one of you is a coach, every one of you is a mentor. You just have to look for the opportunity. And I think First gives you some of those opportunities. So have a great day today, and I'm going to be around.
You can just. So our next group of people are sitting in the front row in their lovely blue shirts, and I hope that all of our teams have had a chance to impress them so far. So please give a warm welcome to our judges. And I know you have all had the opportunity to interact with our referees, who are also a very critical part of our event, so welcome them back. And as a reminder to teams, all of your robots need to be reweighed after your last qualification match to be eligible to play in playoffs. So don't forget to get reweighed and re-inspected, especially if you add things to your robots. So we have some special awards, and one of these special awards is our Woody Flowers Award. It is given at championships in St. Louis to the mentor who best leads, inspires, teaches, and empowers their team. The finalist is chosen by a special committee and will be announced at the Pacific Northwest District Championships. And we are going to show our list of nominees, and we would like them to stand wherever you are so that you can be recognized. As you all probably know, all of the inspectors and refs and judges and field crew are all volunteers. So essentially our entire event is volunteer ran, and we are all very thankful to our volunteers. So please give every single volunteer in this building a very big round of applause. All of our volunteers serve as role models for FIRST students, whether you volunteer as a mentor or a coach or a robot inspector or a safety advisor. We all want to thank you for your graciousness, your dedication, and commitment to FIRST and all of our FIRST programs. And students, the world notices you. We know how much hard work that you put in, and so do colleges and universities. And like our speakers were saying, people want you in their jobs because of these skills you learn here. So remember to thank your coaches and your mentors and your family and your friends who support you in making this program possible so that you can have a better future. So today, we are going to finish our qualification matches. We have 12 more, I believe, and then we are going to have our alliance selection, not our audience selection. Our alliance selection will have the top 8 teams out on the field where they will pick 2 robots to join them for the playoff matches in the afternoon. After alliance selection, we will have a break for lunch, and then our playoffs will commence, and we will have our award ceremony where we will hand out all of our riches. But before we get started, please rise and take off your hats for the national anthem. All right, teams. Are you ready for our qualification matches to begin? We are counting on your energy and excitement levels to get a lot higher during the day so that our defense selection is going to go very well. I would like to welcome back our game announcer, Karl Koenig. And with that, teams, come and turn on your robots and let's get started.